Hey guys, Prowl1701 here, and today let's talk about some modern Doctor Who. And my question is, do you think that Doctor Who will continue past season 2 of New Who? Disney Who, whatever you want to call it. Do you think Doctor Who is going to be canceled after season 2, or do you think it will continue afterwards? I know it's definitely too early to make a call on this. I think Disney is going to wait and see what season 2 does. I feel like season 1 probably wasn't quite the viewing numbers they wanted, but I think everyone's adopting a wait and see approach to see exactly what season 2 does when it comes out early next year, which really isn't that far away when you think about it. I think personally, we'll get a season 3. For me, the main thing up in the air is whether Disney will be involved in it, whether they will continue to fund it, or whether they will pull their funding. I do think Doctor Who will at least get one more season after that. Personally, I think Russell and Bad Wolf will want to do at least one more season past that. I don't know. Doctors tend to do 3 seasons, and I feel like they would want to at least try to do one extra afterwards. I don't know why. That's just my gut opinion. But even if it ends at season 2... I still think we'll continue to get the collection sets, the collection range. Sells very well. It's very popular. I believe they have commissioned all 26 seasons. We know they're working on various bits of all the seasons. Hopefully we'll also get a Wilderness Years set. Hopefully we'll continue to get animations in the classic range as well, because those seem to do very well. So hopefully it won't affect the stuff coming out related to Classic Who. And if Doctor Who does end with season 2, the one thing I would like to see is a really good premium format box set, a Blu-ray box set of all the modern series. And I am just lumping seasons 1 and 2 in with the rest of the modern series, counting them as one modern series, not separating New Who and New Who. One box set that covers from 2005 through 2025. I'd like to see that. Now, I know they did that box set covering 2005 through 2022 last year. That set was done cheap. I'm glad I didn't buy it. It seems like a waste of money. I can't remember if it was $179 or $279 or how much it cost. Either way, I think people got robbed. Now, if you were buying that box set just for the content, like if you don't really care about packaging, you just wanted the content, I think that's okay. Especially getting the new upgraded remasters and upscales for series 1 through 4, where they fixed a lot of the errors, including the timing. I think if all you're worried about is the content itself, that's fine. I'm the kind of person, I like my physical media. I really like having a nice presentation on my shelves. Why I love these limited editions. They look good. These steelbooks, they look good. I wouldn't need to buy something like that, a whole box set, for the content, because I have the content, most of the content on physical media. There is a little bit of Modern Who I don't have on physical media, but I have most of it. I would be buying it for the nice deluxe limited packaging, and I don't feel like that last release from last year sold me on that. I've watched several reviews on YouTube of the New Who box set. The cardboard case looked cheap and flimsy, cheap material, tears easy. It looked all right. I didn't really care for the cover design. I liked the colors, the different uses of colors, the oranges, the blues, the reds. I thought the use of colors were good, as in it would pop on a shelf. I didn't like how they positioned the doctors on it, where it was basically just their silhouettes on different sides. I didn't really like that. Overall, aside from the colors being eye-catching and popping, I didn't really like that design. It felt like it was something that was done quickly in Photoshop. And then the inside had those clear plastic tubs that are, I wish I had one here I could use as an example. My original Star Trek one would have been perfect, and I didn't think to look for it. But the ones that are the big tub trays, like the big ones that box sets come in, I don't like those. One, they just look cheap. Also, the fact that they're clear instead of blue. That sounds like a nitpick, but I think of like black cases, clear cases as DVD cases. I think of Blu-ray cases as being blue, like these. You know, I think a Blu-ray case should be blue. One, my favorite color is blue. Two, this just looks better to me. Like, if this was clear, I wouldn't like it as much. It just looks a little too plain. I like my Blu-ray cases to be blue. That looks really good on the shelf. You'll notice I took this out of the case, the little slip cover. that goes over that, because I never really like that. I tend to like seeing my Blu-ray cases on here for these most of the time. The collection sets look good in their boxes, their slipcovers. And the big ones that each Doctor's in, and that's how they do it in that New Who set. Each Doctor has one case, and it's this big, bulky case, some bigger than others depending on the Doctor. And they just look cheap. The art on them looks cheap. The case itself looks cheap. You open it up and the disc trays are falling all over the place. They're coming out. It just looks cheap. If I had to sum that box set up in one word, it's cheap. It was done on a budget. You get the impression they didn't care. Let's just sell this, get it out there, and make some money. We don't care. That's not worth it for me. I don't need to buy it for the content. I have the content. I'm fine with the content I have. I would be buying it because I would want it to be a premium item that looks good on a shelf. Because you guys know Prowl really likes his shelf. I like my shelf to look good. You know, I love that. It drives me a little crazy. I can't fit all of my classic collection on one shelf. I got to do something about that at some point. But I love my shelf. I like having that. That's just how I am. So I want a premium format box set. And I will pay good money for it. You could charge $350 for a premium box set with all of Modern Who in it. And I would probably pay it if I thought the package was up to that standard. And that's a lot. But again, you're getting 15 seasons plus the spin-off seasons. You know, you have 15 seasons plus the David Tennant specials from 2009, plus the 50th anniversary specials, plus the 60th anniversary specials. And then you have, of course, the Centennial specials with Jodie Whittaker, although I think you could just lump that in with the Flux disc. Since Flux was only 6 episodes, I think you lump that in with the Flux season. That would give you 18 sets, and I think you do them individually. I don't think you do a whole Doctor set, because again, those big, thick plastic bus tub of cases, they look ugly. They just look ugly. I don't like them. So I think you do individual seasons. And the box set could be big. You could have that box set this big. Like, seriously. That thing could be huge. And then you have 18 individual sets that slot into it. And they're Blu-rays. Like, they're actually blue because they would be Blu-rays. Again, give it this professional look. Each case for each season or series, you could have some nice cover art on it. Or you could use the steelbook art. The steelbook art's gorgeous. I mean, imagine having the steelbook art for each individual season, the art that was used for the steelbooks, except the Series 11, because that steelbook's terrible. That art's awful. Good poster, terrible steelbook. Or you could do some new art. I really think you bring in the big guns to design what this set would look like. I think you bring in Lee Binding, or you bring in Alice, or perhaps Claudia, who did the Series 3 steelbooks. I really liked that one. You know, you get one of those big name Who artists for this, who really put their love into it. Like, you give Lee Binding this thing, it's going to look good. You give Alice this thing, it's going to look good. I think for the actual case, I think it has a big slip cover that slides down on top of it, completely covers it, slides over it. And I think instead of doing a front and a back, you do 2 fronts. That way you can reverse it and do each side you want. And if you think about it, if you include the spin-off Doctors, you have about 10 Doctors in Modern Who, if we're counting the 8th Doctor from Night of the Doctor. Because you have 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, War, Fugitive, 8. And I would count 8. That's 5 Doctors on one side, 5 Doctors on the other. That way, if you could have it facing one side and you get tired of that, you can spin around and have the other side facing out. I think on one side you have the 10th Doctor as the center Doctor, and then you have like 4 other Doctors kind of flanking around him, maybe from about here up, doing, you know, some kind of pose. I think you have like, for 10, you also have like 9, 13, Fugitive, and, you know, one other one, 8. And then on the other side, you have 12 as the main Doctor, because he's kind of the other main one, I think, from Modern Who. And then flanking him, you have like 11, War, and whatever the other 2 I haven't named are. 14, and then whatever the other one I haven't named is. And then you have them kind of as the main front cover for the opposite side. So you can flip them around, and then on the top, you could have several different Doctors in different poses. And then the little sides, you could have like the TARDIS on it. Like one side you have a really cool Doctor Who logo, the other side has the TARDIS on the bookends. And I really think that would be a cool premium set you could display right here. And again, each Each individual series would have its own little case inside with its own cool art for that doctor and that companion, whether you use existing art like the steel books or you use new art. I would love to see that. That's the kind of thing I would pay money for, because I would love to have a complete collection of the Modern series when the Modern series does eventually end. I would like to get a big box set. I would pay through the nose for it if it was a quality product. If they try to release that crap we got with that box set last year, there's no way. I didn't buy that set, and I don't regret that, because it just looked cheap. It looked crap. But if they actually put the time, effort, and money into making a quality collection, I would spend the time and the effort and the money purchasing it. So that's what I asked for on that. I kind of got off on a tangent there, but I really would like to have that on the shelf and just to be able to watch any episode I want, because there are some series of Modern Who I don't own on physical media. I don't think I own all of Series 9. I think I own Part 2 of Series 9, but not all of Series 9. I think, or do I have Series 9 on DVD? I might have Series 9 on DVD. I can't remember, actually. I don't own Series 11. I don't own Series 12, which is a shame, because I really liked Series 12, finale aside. And I don't own the Jodie Whittaker specials. And I don't own Season 1. And I would like to have these. Don't get me wrong. I don't own them at this point. So it'd be kind of nice to get the ones I don't have. Plus, it'd be kind of nice to get the updated remasters for Series 1 through 4, because I have the original Blu-ray releases of that. So it'd be kind of nice to get the new ones, even though honestly, I probably wouldn't even notice the difference. But yeah, getting back to that, I think we will get a Season 3. Whether or not Disney is involved, I think will be the big deal. That's the main thing I'm waiting to see. Will Disney stick around for a 3rd season, or will they go, nah, we're good, and Doctor Who goes back to just being made without Disney's help, which is also fine. So I want to know what you think about everything we've talked about in this video. Comment down below. Let's talk about it. Don't forget to click the like button and the subscribe button. I also have a Patreon. If you would like to become one of my patrons and support the channel, get early access to a lot of videos, get to vote in other videos, get bonus videos. Sundays are Patreon exclusive, actually. Sunday videos tend to be Patreon exclusives. If you want to catch out what I do on Sundays for that, check that out. There's a link to that down in the description below. I want to give a shout out to a couple of my top tier patrons, Colin Coney and Sam Venning. I appreciate their support, as I do the support of all of my patrons. I want to give a shout out to Simon as well. Simon has sent me a lot of stuff over the years, including 3 out of these 4 standard edition sets. I love getting those. I really appreciate Simon sending them. It's really made me fall in love with these standard edition sets a lot. And I also want to give a shout out to the Flyattractor, who has sent me a lot of my novels. You can't see them. They're right out of here, out of camera range. I just recently read The Mutation of Time, which is part 2 of the Dalek's Master Plan. That is actually going to be a Patreon exclusive video coming this month. So I really appreciate the Flyattractor sending that as well. I also want to give a shout out to Colin Coney, who has sent several things over the years. Most recently, I believe he sent me the Pyramids of Mars DVD, which was the first time I'd seen Pyramids of Mars in a long time, and it was great to rewatch it. It is one of my favorite Doctor Who stories, so I really appreciate him sending that. And I want to give a shout out to a former patron, JLB who was on the Patreon for a couple of years. Great guy. And he sent me this Shada Steelbook, and because he knows me and he has a good sense of humor, in the Shada Steelbook was this Power of Kroll playing card, because most of you guys know I don't care for Power of Kroll. So he sent me. And I remember in the note he sent with it, it's like, just so you know, there's a big surprise inside. That was really, really cool. And he also got me this Shada Steelbook, which I really like. So I want to give a shout out to him as well. And of course, a thank you to everyone who has supported the channel, the Patreon, the YouTube members, everyone. I also do have a P.O. box down there if you would like to send me anything you want me to look at and review, or anything you just think I would enjoy having. I also have a link to my Amazon wish list down there. A link to my Amazon UK wish list is also down there as well. Please check those out if you're interested. Most importantly, thank you for watching.